to Jake Jackets. Gear up to fire the cannon and hit the ice with your host, Jay Ashdown and Jake Gehringer.
Life's good.
Oh man, I'm doing okay. I'm tired, but you know, it's late. It's a game day and a podcast day. Who fucking knew?
Wow, wait. Recording a podcast late?
Who would have thought? Oh man, like I miss doing, you know, like because pod days on game days are always weird, especially when we do these late.
Yeah, because we're just like, ooh, someone scored. And
Because we're keeping track of the game that's going on, and we gotta.
yeah.
But hey, this is our first episode with games going on this season, so I'm excited for that much.
Yeah, that's it's depressing, but it's nice just because of where we're at.
Hey, we have games to talk about, baby.
I suppose.
But hey, another thing that we have that is back is Kepi Keepers.
And speaking of depressing,
Go on as we... I'm trying to keep this lighthearted, man. We're shooting this late. I'm gonna post it tomorrow.
It doesn't always have to be lighthearted. We're allowed to be upset, right?
I mean, that's how fandom is. Just as long as you're not, I don't know, a Browns fan about it.
Right. Instead, I'm a Bears fan, which is just a lifelong.
Which is almost worse.
Oh no, it's just it's apathy all the time.
Oh man. I mean, this is coming from a Reds fan who's been ready to sell the team for fucking years.
Sports sadness.
Sports sadness indeed.
Go Cavs.
But yeah, Cappies. So this is a really depressing start for Columbus so far this year, but there are bright spots. And mine is going to go to the new guy, Johnny Hockey.
You see, I wasn't going to go there.
I thought you were going to go there, which is kind of funny. I think I do know where you're going to go now. But yeah, Johnny, 2 points in 3 games, a goal and an assist. I will take that. Like with the way the team's been playing to start the year, I'll take it.
Who did you think I was going to say besides Johnny?
Oh, besides Johnny?
Yeah.
I think you're going to go with the birthday boy.
With KJ?
Yeah.
I am.
There you go. I called it.
He shows life.
And yes, we are shooting this.
An incredible play off the wall in the Tampa game to get the game even with this play to Gus Nyquist. He's
looked really fast and really good. Like they've both Johnny and KJ have been huge bright spots in this 0-3 stretch.
Yeah.
I mean, like, you know, Jaeger was our preseason bright spot. And Foodie.
Yeah.
We had a lot of guys looking really good in the preseason.
And it's hard because like the one thing that you get out of Patrick Laine getting hurt is, again, opportunity. And you still can't get Liam Foodie into the lineup.
Well, let's actually like put a bookend to it. So my Kepi going to Johnny Hockey. Johnny Gaudreau getting the first Kepi keeper of the Blue Jacket season.
Which is fitting.
Which is absolutely fitting.
He could have 0 points in 3 games. You'd still get that Kepi, man. He gets the Kepi for signing.
And honestly, yeah, he just gets the Kepi for being here.
Yeah.
And his daughter's beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
And I love that they're already like so acclimated to the city.
Absolutely.
And then, you know, KJ, we're recording this the night on KJ's 20th birthday. Mm-hmm. So it's a very fitting Kepi for him just to celebrate. I hope he gets a goal at the very least to celebrate.
Well, I hope we get a goal at the very least, because right now we're down 2-0.
Right. Well, I've got Canucks fan friends on the Discord, and they are always chirping about multi-goal leads and how they love to blow those. So fingers crossed that that continues to happen. That trends continue. Anyway, so both teams that are playing tonight, and we're going to talk about the one that's in more of a union blue and not like a deep sea blue.
Mm-hmm.
Both teams are 0-3-0 going into tonight, which is rough.
Yeah, which means one team by the end of the night will be 0-4, or they could be 0-3-1. Get a nice little spicy point in there.
Little point would be nice.
A charity point. Please, sir. May I have some more?
may I have a point, sir? So, yeah, this last year started off awesome.
Yeah, it was the polar opposite of whatever the fuck this is.
It was weird though, because like we had the depressing undertones of the tragedy with Matisse last year.
Yeah.
And what was their start? Like
they were
like
12-6.
12-6, yeah.
The first 18 games.
Right. And thus far being 0-3-0. But the bright spot coming in the off season is very much like a polar opposite.
Yeah. And look, I'll remind people, you were in the middle of rebuild, retool, whatever the fuck you want to call it.
Reset. Thank you, Yarmo.
I picked this team to finish 7th.
And I picked 6th, and there's going to be growing pains.
It happens. I was listening to the Steve Dangle podcast earlier today, and they made a great point with it. It's, you lose 4 in a row in February. It's a bad week.
Mm-hmm.
But at the beginning of the season, when everything's magnified and people are getting back into hockey and you just have the visible record 4-0, like,
I mean, just
it's a different feel to it, because you set the tone of the season early on. Just because you get off to a great start doesn't mean you're making the playoffs. We saw that last year with Columbus, but
yeah,
you want to get off to a good start. And
ask Leafs fans about the Coyotes game that just happened. Like,
it was hilarious.
The Leaf fan in me is depressed, but I can also laugh about it.
It was quite hilarious.
But this is my point, right? And you said it. We magnify the first smallest chunk of games possible because we're just getting back into it, and there's
that's what it is, because we can visibly see it. It's hard to see when you look at a record in February and be like, oh, they've lost 4 in a row. It's very easy to look at standings and be like, San Jose's 0-4-0. Holy shit, they suck. You know what I mean? Like,
right, but there's also a difference between a team that is designed to suck,
yes, and
a San Jose, and a team that has expectations like a Minnesota or a Columbus.
Yeah.
And no, I'm not comparing Columbus's expectations with Minnesota's.
Minnesota's got expectations. Columbus made the splash.
So there are expectations that come with that.
Yeah. So when you don't sign Johnny Gaudreau to start 0-4, right? Like, that's the point.
No, you sign Eric and Branson to start 0-4.
God, yeah. Okay, so you
okay.
So you should start 2-2, right?
Goody's been all right.
No, he hasn't. He's been terrible.
He's put up a couple of points. He's okay.
Oh God, a couple of secondary assists. Have you seen how bad he's getting caved in defensively?
Okay, Jay Ashdown, remember what I do for work. Remember that I literally, my work schedule right now has not allowed me to see a single second.
I gotta get Alex to send me the stats. It's bad. It is so much worse than I could have thought it was going to be.
The fact that we have the worst goal differential in the league right now at a -9.
Yes.
Well, the other two are -8.
Yeah.
It's
And
like,
San Jose is one of them, right?
I believe San Jose is
Yeah.
one of them. Yes. I think San Jose is -8. I think New Jersey's a -8. And I want to
Mhm.
say Minnesota's like a -6 or something.
Yep.
There are a lot. And to friggin' Tampa. I
See,
know
it's
they're.
a lot different for Tampa because they
But,
get a pass, right?
but here's the thing, right? Is like that's my point.
Yeah.
My point is there are teams that have expectations that are off to extremely sloppy starts. Then we know we're going to pick it up,
Mm-hmm.
right? But it's just being a Columbus fan, knowing that there's expectations because of the signing of Johnny Gaudreau and Eric Brandt. Well, more so Johnny over Goody.
Right.
Goody, again, we're warming up to it, but at the same time, it's like, okay.
I am quickly coldening up to it.
It's just like semantics. Okay. Johnny's doing fine for what it's worth. He's going to be, we have 7 years of this, people.
Mm-hmm.
The biggest thing, though, with all three of these, like I watched the majority of the St. Louis game at a bar. They looked fine. Couple of really bad defensive breakdowns was really what did him in more than anything. Like the offense was great.
Mm-hmm.
Carolina, I have no clue how sloppy that was. And then Tampa is friggin' Tampa. Right?
Yeah. So, real quick. Yeah. Corsi for Eric at Branson.
Mm-hmm.
Only 3 games. Understand that. It's okay. Only 3 games. Right? Just 3 games.
Only. Mm-hmm.
24.1%. No, small sample size. But
That's still.
Oh my god. Now, granted, not doing him much favors putting him with Jake Bean.
And we know what, and we talked about our expectations for Bean.
I don't know. It's an experiment that I just think is over. I just don't see it.
Well, they put tonight against Vancouver, they put blanks in for Boakfist.
Which is just, of all the defensemen you could have replaced.
It's like what
Boakfist wasn't even in the top 3 of defensemen who I had biggest issues with.
Well, it's like what Boudreaux did tonight with scratching Garland too. Like
Yeah.
that's the guy you healthy scratched.
I don't know, man.
There's a lot of baffling coaching decisions going on right now.
Yeah.
And I mean, like, Tara's looked okay.
I don't want to blame. Look, go on the road, start against fucking Carolina.
Right.
Behind what has clearly been one of the worst defensive units in the league so far. No doubt about it.
And
They
again,
look
like,
awful defensively.
You gotta forgive us for like sounding like we're overreacting because again, we have what 78 more of these.
I don't think it's overreacting. We're not saying that the sky's falling. This team is the worst team in hot. It's just from our observations for the first 3 games, and clearly what's going on in the 4th.
It's baffling.
They suck defensively, and it's not new.
And we kind of we expected that.
What was the weakness of the team? We've addressed this. This is the weakness. It's the defense.
Mm-hmm.
And I read an article that they're implementing a new defensive scheme and system.
Oh yeah, didn't Vincent say something about that?
Yeah. So I get it. It takes time. But, when we talk about Tarasov, it is hard to judge him because he faced Carolina on the road and then had to
Sure.
come back and face the Tampa Bay Lightning with one of the worst defenses I've ever seen in my life in front of him.
Did they start Tara against Tampa?
They did.
Oh
Elvis
my
was still sick.
god. Oh my god.
So
Oh.
so
Poor
do I
kid.
blame Tarasov? He gave up one bad goal against Carolina. You had the unfortunate goal against Lightning that went off both his skate, but I
Mhm.
don't know. I didn't really watch either of those games outside of those two and been like, man, he looks terrible. He got caved by a defense that was caved in the entire night.
Yeah. I
And it's hard to, we talk about this team. They want to play north-south hockey. They want to go up ice.
Mhm.
Really, really hard to do that if the puck's always in your zone.
Yeah.
And now you're stuck in a situation where, like, you talk about the offense, and they have so much more firepower, but they're not generating the offense that they need to. And the reason that they're not doing it is not because they can't create in the offensive zone. It's that they're never there.
What's funny is because, I've only had the chance to watch the one game.
Yeah.
And again, grain of salt because that was the only game I got to watch. That was the best they've looked in
I
terms
would
of
agree with that. Yeah.
just in terms of being able to get out of the zone, sustain just enough pressure to get a couple of chances, and then when they go back south,
Yeah.
they're hemmed in for a bit, but they're still able to make the breakout.
Yeah. And that's definitely what they struggled with the most in the Tampa game was it was so visibly noticeable that just Bean and Boqvist look lost out there.
And like
Not Bean and Boqvist, my bad. Bean and Gabranson.
right. We talk about base numbers for casual fans. But when you talk about the way that a team plays and you talk about like entering and exiting zones, when you talk about defending the neutral zone, transition games, things like that.
Yeah. Taking away time and space, all that stuff. But some of it's little things that you can't even really take stats of.
Jay, they're barely even creating space.
Yeah.
They're
For a team that wants to play up ice offensively, yeah, they're not creating much time and space for themselves. And
other than Johnny's goal, what was the best goal so far this season? Sean Corrales?
it was the it's the Nyquist goal where Kent makes the great play, angling the puck off the wall, off the glass, gets it up, creates a 2-on-1, and you fire one into the back. It was a great play, but it goes to your point that we shouldn't be able to. We're 3 games in. We shouldn't be able to count 2 goals.
Right.
Two goals that you were able to create, and the power play.
And again, I
lost,
mentioned
and
Sean's
I
because Sean had
but,
a decent shot with his.
Yeah.
In St. Louis, but at the same time, it's like, how was that made? How was that goal created?
Mm-hmm.
Right? You're able to get into the zone. You're ringing around just enough in order to set up.
Mm-hmm.
Right? You gain control just enough, and then you're able to box it out and get it up ice just enough for Sean to fire it on.
Yeah.
And the same with Johnny's, right? Johnny's was pretty similar.
Yeah.
It was,
yeah, you make great play behind the net. I know he took a penalty in the game that I didn't really like, but I did like Danforth on that top line with Gaudreau. I just thought
that was a fun audition. I
thought
did
he
like
was.
that.
I thought he held his own. He kind of kept up a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Frankly, without Line in the lineup, I kind of wouldn't mind seeing them move Boone down the lineup a little bit. And it's nothing against Boone. I just
No,
want to see
yeah.
a couple players get a look with Gaudreau, because get Roslovic a look with him.
Get Cole a look with him, sure.
Yeah,
because
hey, God,
and we talked about this the last show. Let's see Jack.
And like I said, the power play looks lost too, and I understand they don't have Line, but God,
You still have guys
You're
that can
not in a good
finish.
spot if your whole entire power play is running through one guy anyway, right?
Patrick Line is not the only guy that could and should finish for your team.
Yeah.
Just because you have him, like Alex Ovechkin isn't the be all end all with the Washington. Well, kind of is, but
No, he's not, because
he isn't.
What makes him so threatening? Why can't guys just, put majority of their attention on Ovechkin? Well, it's because you normally have Nick Backstrom working the half wall. Okay, you have TJ Oshie parked right between the dots.
You have Tom Wilson causing chaos.
Yeah, you can put Tom Wilson on that unit, but you got John Carlson usually back there too, who can quarterback. And you can also have this guy Evgeny Kuznetsov, who's fast, has good hands, is a good shot, who can also rove around. Like
suspended for a game.
Yeah,
we're just gonna mention little things.
They have options. You can't put all your attention on Ovechkin. That's what makes him so damn dangerous.
And we know that Jake's a decent passer. We know Johnny's gonna fill Jake's role now. Right. Yeah. But at the same time, it's like you need options to actually finish off your chances and put the puck in the net.
Yeah.
And Patrick's not the only guy that can do that.
And
you shouldn't have to just rely on one guy to do that.
Right. And I think that the best thing that they could do is, and I really do mean it, like they got to give Roslovic a look with Gaudreau.
We know
it's not just at even strength, but on the power play, because you need a right hand shot who can actually shoot the puck,
who can
and
finish.
your best shooter right hand outside of Laine is Roslovic.
Right.
So something about them Winnipeg boys who shoot right,
I do like, to your point about bumping Boone down. We know he's not a bona fide number one.
Right. And it's nothing against his game. I haven't had an issue with this game.
No.
I just don't give other guys looks.
And he's a perfect, we talk about the kind of captain that the Blue Jackets look up to. He's the perfect kind of player for that.
Yeah, I agree with that.
But that's normally
what we want to do.
But that's normally a bottom 9 guy.
Typically, yeah. I think he's got a little bit more offensive game than people give him credit for. I think he showed that last year for sure.
Rick was the most impressive offensive talent they've ever had as a captain.
Yeah, it's not even close.
Like, there's no competition with that.
Yeah.
And yet Rick was also this, bruising power forward that will go you if he has to.
Yeah. He was
and grind you down
and
but Boone's more of a second, third line option.
Yeah. Ideally you'd like him like if you're a championship caliber team, he's a really good third line center, right?
Exactly.
And some teams he's a second line center. There's nothing wrong with that. He's just not number one center. And that's nothing against his game, but he's a middle six center who I think is underrated offensively, probably overrated defensively, but brings a lot of different elements to the game.
And we know what he does. Like, again, he's almost 30. Can you believe that?
That's 2011 draft pick, right?
Yeah.
It's crazy.
So it's like he's getting older.
Mm-hmm.
And with the kind of physical game that he plays and the back injury that he had, what else can you ask for? Like, there's not too much you can really ask for.
Yeah. It's also with what you're paying him too. It's not like you're paying him like a crazy amount of money. He's very fairly paid, I'd say.
For the kind of player that he is, yes, he's got a nice contract. And there are guys, that Johnny's totally going to be worth his contract.
Yeah.
Patrick's going to be worth his contract.
Yeah.
I would hope that, when Cole and Yegor get raises, they'll be worth that.
I gotta see it from Yegor. He was great this preseason. It made me excited about him. I haven't seen much from him in the first 3 games.
And we've
Yes.
seen 0 Liam Foodie.
It's like great. He's up with the team. He makes the team out of camp, but he's not playing.
Then what's the point?
I don't get it. And like
I don't either.
And this is the issue.
We were so excited for the kid.
This is
like
precisely
finally
the issue I had with the Matthew Olivier trade. Is because he sucks up a spot that one of your developing players could be using right now.
Yeah. And that's nothing against going out and making the move.
Yeah, it's nothing against the kid. He's 25. He's a physical guy. He can get into some fights, but he's playing 7 minutes a night.
He's playing dead weight minutes.
So what the fuck is the point? You
can play a Liam Foodie for 10 to 12 minutes a night.
Yes. I don't get it. I don't. Like, getting Gaudreau was great. And
we know what he's gonna do.
I can't express to people how incredible that feeling was when he signed. And I can't express
there's a reason why we've plugged that clip so much.
There's a reason that I can't express to people the feeling of being able to be there live to see his first goal as a Jacket.
I'm so fucking jealous of you, man. I literally when I found out you were going, God, how was that, by the way? Can we talk about that for a second?
Pretty awesome.
Like,
the crowd was buzzing.
The blue carpet, because I've never gone to an opening night.
Yeah.
I don't know if you went to the blue carpet or anything.
No. I would have had to have gone so early.
Okay.
Because you got the 2-hour drive.
Right.
So we went to dinner beforehand.
Did you see any friends? Did you see Ellie or anybody?
No. I was there with my girlfriend, so we just spent the time together. So
that's fair.
And
you told me she wore your jersey instead.
Yeah. Well, I've had bad luck with jerseys, so I was like, you know what?
That's honestly, I'm gonna be straight up with you. My personalized jersey.
Yeah.
I wore it to work and then home from work.
Yeah.
On opening night, because I was excited.
Yeah.
Of course. And then I wore it to B-dubs.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, that's not saying much since they're 0-3, but they lost both of those big time. And I was like, oh, I know it's early, but superstitions
kick in. You gotta change things up. Totally.
I know. I'm gonna have to start.
The Guardians lost game 1 of the ALDS, and I was wearing my gray Guardian shirt, and I was like, I'm never wearing this during one of their games again.
I gotta, dude. I'm gonna have to break Bjorky out again and try that.
Try anything, man. Seriously.
Hell, I'll have to wear the Mitch jersey. See if that helps.
Were you wearing it last night when they lost hilariously to the Coyotes?
I wasn't.
See, that's why they lost.
I should have worn it.
That just makes you a bad fan.
Well, because I don't want to be wearing my jerseys to work.
Well, you lose to the Coyotes then. That's the trade-off.
I guess you lose to an ECHL worthy Coyotes. Are we getting gaslit right now? Because it feels like we're getting gaslit with this stuff.
No, you're getting gaslit. I'm gaslighting you.
I know you're not. Fuck.
I think it's funny.
So 0-3-0. They're not doing so hot tonight so far.
Yeah.
They can come back and do this. There's plenty of hockey left in the night.
Well, and one of the things that should be encouraging is the Canucks, in all 3 of their losses, have blown multi-goal leads.
Exactly.
So, maybe going out and spending all that money on...
and this is also Spencer Martin's
Mikheyev rubbed off.
This is Spencer Martin's first start. This is Mickey's first game.
Yeah.
There's tough luck going on with the Canucks tonight, too.
Yep.
But I'm just going to end the recap portion with, 3 to 4 weeks for Patty with an elbow sprain.
Yeah,
I think they said it was a sprain.
I'm not going to diagnose it because I don't know.
They said it was a sprain. It was like a sprain or a strain or something. He pulled something essentially, which is okay, great. You
Got
know,
hurt in the first fucking game, and he still has a goal.
I know he's only skated 7.5 minutes like of the season, and he's already got a goal.
If there's any consolation for Blue Jackets fans, the Blue Jackets have outscored their. They have not allowed a goal with Patrick Laine on the ice.
There you go. But like,
you get Laine back, you're never allowing a goal again. Defensive god.
I feel bad for Elvis.
Yeah,
because it's not his fault either. A couple of them are.
Yeah, it just
Like a couple of them he should have had, but
it makes, like I said, it's hard to analyze these goalies.
when the defense is this bad.
Yeah. And I'm just like, oh, you know what? The good news is Corpy's going to come back. He can't possibly be as bad as he was last year. And I'm looking at this defense, and I'm like, it sounds like a challenge.
It's like Mufasa and Scar.
Yeah. I don't know, man. We can push
Or
the
like-
envelope with that one.
It's either like I would say it's between Mufasa and Scar. Is that a challenge? Or Scooby and Shaggy, are you challenging me?
It's more of a, are you challenging me, if I had to be honest?
It's more of Scooby and Shaggy
Nah.
in the park competition.
Because I'm not going to lie to you. I think they could do it.
It is a bit of a fart competition though, too, isn't it?
Yeah.
Anyway, okay. We gotta get rolling. And guys, Jackets fans, fifth liners, friends, family. I'm gonna be transparent with y'all right now as we transition out of here. There's 78 games left,
Yes.
but at the same time, there really needs to be a turnaround like now.
Yeah. Well,
So
and
try
I
not
read
to
a stat.
overreact, but like at the
Okay.
same time,
You know, with everything that happens in life, usually there's always, negative consequences, but also
Yes.
positive consequences.
yes.
So this is the third time that the Blue Jackets have ever started a season 0-3-0. The two previous times that they did, they got the second overall pick and the third overall pick.
Uh-huh.
Now, what if, and I know we want to be good this year, but
Jared-
what if?
Jer-
What
Jer-
if?
Jared,
What if?
Jared,
What
Jared.
if?
Yes, I'm going to call you by your full legal name. Jared
Okay,
Ashdown. Come on.
Just hear me out. Hear me out.
No, I don't.
Hear me out, man. If there was any year to get the first overall pick for the first time since 2002,
the
There's-
first
there's-
time and legitimately do it.
yeah, first legitimate time because that wasn't really their pick. But okay, just hear me out. But
I will humor you. Yes.
Johnny Gaudreau, Connor Bedard, Patrick Laine.
Jesus, man.
I don't know. I think that would be worth a really bad year. If you could guarantee me that, I would take that in a heartbeat.
Yegor Chinnikov, Kent Johnson.
Could you-
Friggin'
center depth of Connor Bedard, Kent Johnson, and Cole Sillinger.
and then Jack Roslovic.
And then you can do it. Yeah, you could put Roslovic on the wing. You could trade him. I don't know.
No,
There's a lot you could do.
Yegor Kent Jack would be pretty fun. I'm not gonna lie.
Yep. I'm just saying, but you know it would be really fun. Johnny Gaudreau with Connor Bedard and
I already saw like where there was a Lightning fan on Discord that made a mock-up of a Bedard Lightning jersey. I'm like, oh.
I'm just saying. I'm not saying we're gonna get the first overall pick. I'm not saying it's
No.
a disaster season. But what I am saying is Connor Bedard's gonna look great in a Blue Jackets uniform.
Hey, Johnny Gaudreau looks good in a Cannon jersey.
Hey, people told me Johnny Gaudreau would never sign with a team like Columbus. It's me. I'm people. I'm telling you right now, the Blue Jackets will never, ever get a player like Connor Bedard.
I did. I texted you this. I sent an "Oh my Hod" in a Discord chat because
And that's gonna be me when we get Connor Bedard.
it's gonna be another "Oh my Hod" moment.
I can't wait for the draft lottery. We're not even 4 full games into the season, and I'm just like,
And you're like, Connor, please.
I'm like, Connor, you up?
And I'm just over here like, Johnny, buddy, save us.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. We'll see what happens tonight with Vancouver. We'll
They're
figure it
gonna
out.
lose.
We're gonna figure it out
And
by
they're
the
gonna be
end
one
of this
step closer
recording,
to Bedard.
probably. Stop it. All right. Speaking of the Leafs again, I guess. We mentioned
Connor
this.
Bedard.
God. We mentioned this in the Atlantic preview that their goaltending was a big question mark, and I believe it was me that said it's almost expected that Matt Murray's gonna get hurt.
I mean, yeah.
And lo and behold,
I gotta be honest with you.
4
I'm
weeks.
quite impressed at how quick it happened. Genuinely impressive.
I feel bad. I just feel so bad for the dude anymore.
I feel bad for the guy for sure. Seems I don't know. He seems like a nice guy. Like, nobody deserves to get injured over and over again in this dumb sport.
God. And it was, you're the goalie guy.
Yes.
There's an adductor muscle.
Yeah.
Explain that. So where is that?
I don't know.
You
All
know,
I know, I think it's somewhere lower body, and
No, on a goalie,
well,
a lower body
it makes
injury.
it very, very hard to push.
I've
Like, and this is for a guy who already struggles with lateral movement.
right.
Like,
I think if I heard CJ and Julian right, it's like somewhere around like the thigh crotch area, like
yeah,
thigh groin, like
yes,
where that meets. So, it's, I guess, pretty similar to what Corpy went through in 2020.
yeah,
Because
I'd say so.
it happened to him in practice.
Yeah. Corby's happened in the middle of a shootout, so like,
Yeah.
I would say that those are relatively similar in the sense that like it's not a game scenario.
And how long was Corpusalo out?
He was
Do you
out.
remember?
He didn't come back until the bubble.
Oh, that's right, because the pause happened in between that.
Yeah. So, well, he may have came back like right before the bubble, but
Mm-hmm.
it was, I know it was New Year's Eve,
Mm-hmm.
and
Right.
he was out for at least 2 months.
And Murray's apparently 4 weeks.
And they say 4 to 6 weeks.
4 to 6. Oh,
We know what that means, Jake. It's going to be 6 weeks.
Knowing Murray's history, more than likely, yeah.
Knowing his history, make it 7. Like just be patient.
I was gonna say
Make it 8.
he's
Like just
I'm just
make sure he's good.
like, yeah, give him a little bit extra time.
Like you're gonna be fine. You'll score goals.
We know they're gonna score goals, and we know Sammy can at least take the
He
reins
can
now.
hold down the fort. It seems he's played well so far.
At least we know now that like they have a bona fide starter.
Yeah, I told you. I got the sense this was gonna be in their minds. It wasn't Samsonov's job. In their minds, this is Murray's job to lose, and I just felt like at the end of the year that it wasn't going to be Murray's job anymore.
Well, it sucks they lost it immediately.
Yeah.
And I just, as someone that cheers for the Leafs, as now their second team that they root for,
Mm-hmm.
right? It's just like, great, here we go again.
Yeah. Feels like the same old story, doesn't it?
It's just like, what's next, right? This, and I know I've like I say that like I've been in. I've not.
I just
I've gotten into the team recently because they're a fun group and like, Dangle helps and what have you.
you know
But I
just
legitimately
struggle.
care about this team, dude.
It feels like the meme of sticking something in the spokes of the bikes. You know what I
Oh,
mean? The Maple Leaf,
God, does it ever?
getting Matt Murray and then being like, and then he gets hurt. It's like, how could he have gotten hurt? And it's like, what do you mean?
Well, didn't I
Have you
text
not
you
like you if they went out and got Samsonov and Samsonov is their number one option and
Mhm.
they're rolling him with either Shalgren or Wool and that's it and he goes out and he gets hurt. There's no real history behind that. That's just a goalie getting hurt.
Right.
God, whoever could have seen Matt Murray getting hurt coming.
Well, didn't I text you
I for
like
one am shocked.
he spent what 5 of his last 7 seasons on LTIR stints?
I thought it was 7 in the last 5 seasons.
7 in the last 5. Oh,
Yeah.
it was one of those, and it was
7
just
different stints in the last 5 seasons.
oh man, this guy. It's such a weird fall from grace after winning back-to-back cups, isn't it?
It is. I mean,
After being, and he's still
as the
really
game
young for a
changes.
goalie.
What?
He's still pretty darn young for a goalie.
Yeah, it's a strange story because he did something that most goalies don't do, and that's
Mhm.
win young.
Yeah.
Not many goalies do that.
In recent
know?
memory, it's what him and Vassy and Shesty, and that's like it.
Right. But and in terms of but Shesty hasn't won.
Well, he's not won his cup,
Well,
but like
I'm
he's like
referring to cups.
right.
It's just even Vassy took a little bit of time. He was younger,
Mhm.
but it didn't happen immediately. Like
Right.
in terms of he was in the league in 2015. He played a Stanley Cup final game in 2015
And
behind Ben Bishop, but he started a game and he didn't win a Stanley Cup until 2020.
right.
So it took time. Matt Murray came up. He was a
And
2012
boom.
draft pick, I think, and then he comes up in 2015 and he's a Stanley Cup champion in 2016 and in 2017.
Right. That's
It doesn't happen.
I guess it helps when you have a guy like Fleury as your mentor, but like
Yeah.
at the
Yeah, it
same
helps
time,
for sure. But I look back at all these other goalies that Quick didn't win immediately.
no.
Crawford didn't really win immediately. He took a long time to develop.
Crow did take some time.
It's hard. He's an outlier in that scenario. So I guess when we look at his fall from grace, it really is kind of unprecedented because what he did prior
Mhm.
was pretty
Also
unprecedented as
unprecedented,
well.
yeah.
Yeah. At least in terms of modern hockey. Since the lockout
Excuse me.
in 05, the only other goalie who truly won young
Mhm.
was Cam Ward.
Right, yes.
And he I would say a little similar, maybe not with the injuries, but it's hard winning young to
Well,
continue that throughout the course of your career.
Cam was almost a one and done, wasn't he?
He won the cup in 06, and then
He was fine for a few years.
fine for a few years, a couple all-star games, and then he was just a starting goalie rotting away on a team that wasn't very good for a while. And that was his career. Fleury won his first cup in 09, but he was a draft pick in 03.
Right.
It took him longer.
I think before Murray and all of these more recent guys, when you say Marty would be the only one to come in like right off the gate that young,
I'd have to think back on anybody else potentially, but that would probably be the first name that comes to my
it was
mind.
just Marty Brodeur, like
Because he's done fucking everything.
Right, yeah.
That you can do as a goalie.
Exactly.
Because even Hasek took forever to develop.
Hasek took forever.
He took forever to develop, and it also took him forever to win. He didn't win until later in his career.
He didn't win until Buffalo actually turned things around, and he had to carry him on his back.
Carry him on his back, and then he went to Detroit. I mean,
Bobby Lou took a while. He didn't really come along until he got to Vancouver.
Yeah. I mean, well, remember he's a 5th overall pick of the Islanders.
Of the Islanders, yes.
And then he breaks out with Florida. But they made the playoffs once with him before he went to Vancouver. And then he still didn't win a cup there. It's crazy. It's a weird story. And unfortunately,
this is the most unfortunate voodoo that I've ever seen a goalie have.
Does it not feel like the story's kind of coming to an end?
Like
he's still young, but I don't know what value he even carries as a backup at this point. Even if say he was bought out and you sign him for 1 year, 850,000,
maybe $1 million.
What value does he provide if he's always hurt?
It's so sad, man. Like what word did I just use? Can you repeat that?
Voodoo.
Is this not exactly voodoo?
Yeah.
Or I guess in the case of Matt Murray and Kyle Dubas, it's pseudo. Come on, man. I gotta try to get one of those in there.
No, you need to know what you did.
I thought it was good. Come on. Anyway, yeah.
I'm going to boo you like the Devils fans are booing Lindy Ruff.
Boo you for pseudo voodoo?
I'm going to hang up the call now.
No, you're not. We still got a few more things to talk about. But yes, praying up for Murray. I hope he's going to be okay. I hope that when he comes back, he actually returns to like actual form. Like if he can, if he can perform and give the Leafs like what they need, whether whether Sammy takes the job and does his thing and then Murray can just be stable enough, which is kind of a tough ask. But
I know this might be unfair, but and I thought that he did a really good job in terms of the asset management.
Mm-hmm.
You only trade back, I think, what was it, 15 spots to get rid of Mrazek?
Yes, it was.
And then
it wasn't anything.
And then his solution was to go out and get Matt Mrazek.
Oh. Mm.
Am I wrong? He got a more expensive goaltender who is as checkered in terms of his past, in terms of injuries.
I don't know why, but that joke makes me cringe as much as Pseudo made you cringe.
It's not my joke. It's not my joke.
No, it wasn't yours?
No. That's what I've been seeing people call him on Twitter.
No. Oh.
Yeah.
This poor guy. I swear.
There's a lot of things I think.
I just feel a lot of sympathy anymore.
If this all comes crashing down for Dubas and the Leafs, there's going to be a lot of...
Dude, it's going to be Dubas and
trades, signings, different things that are brought up.
It's going to be Dubas and Keefe because they're tied at the hip.
Frankly, I think Shanahan should go too in that scenario.
Really?
Shanahan, you implemented the Shanahan plan. It's gotten you nothing. Now, this is assuming that it still gets you nothing this upcoming season, and no offense to the Leafs, nothing about them makes me feel like anything's going to change. And it's evident is the first game against Montreal and this last game against Arizona not the exact things that we have seen every single year from them.
We know the storylines with this team. And we explained the storylines with this team. And we pondered over how much we think it's going to change.
I hope it changes.
I pray it changes, God.
It is unfathomable that a team with this much talent year after year after year after year, just statistically, like the odds.
The sheer, yeah.
But, the game's not played on paper.
No.
And this is what it leaves you with.
And yet I've seen people completely give up already. Because that's what
blame them.
That is what pockets of Leaf fans do.
And I struggle to criticize any Leaf fan for feeling that way.
And it's not like we're ride or die, rah rah for Columbus either. Like we criticize the team because we care about them.
Yeah, we want them to win. I'm not here to be a mouthpiece for the front office and for what they're trying to do and to explain to everybody why everything's good.
I'm an optimist.
I want to win.
But I want to win.
Yeah.
And I'm going to point out when things are bad.
I want to win. All I care about is winning. All that matters is winning. Doesn't matter how it looks. Win.
Win and develop guys you need to develop.
Mm-hmm. And
developing
leads to winning.
Specifically in our case, develop your guys.
They're tied hand in hand. But man, I don't know. I can't understand how psychologically nauseating it must be to make the playoffs every single year. And every single year, the first round goes to an elimination winner, move on game, and to just never win them.
And the majority of them aren't even the majority of them are embarrassing in the fact that it's soul crushing and not that it's just some random blowout on a Tuesday.
Yeah, there's always something, You have the DeBrusque goal in 2018. You have it was back-to-back years of Jake Gardiner being terrible. You had John Tavares hitting the post in 2020.
Yeah, Dubois had
blowing a 3-1 lead in 2021.
You had Dubois Hattie, yeah.
You had countless opportunities to be the Lightning. You had the goal that was called off.
Muzz is hurt again. God, that one's scary.
That's over.
That one hurts.
I think it's over for him.
I love Jake Muzzin. God damn it.
I don't see it. It gets to the point where you concern more about the person than you do player.
Yes, and it becomes more than, because we know that players are assets in one sense.
The best example I can think of that is a guy who was just on the Leafs last year, Kasha.
Mm-hmm.
Got evaluated for another concussion. Do you see that?
Just this year already?
Yes. Just I know what is he?
Oh, this is retired. God. This is retired. Okay. We got to move on soon because this is just breaking my heart.
I mean, it sucks. That is two examples. Kasha and Muzzin. They're at a point. Man, you gotta worry about your health.
This is breaking my heart, dude. Because I'm rooting for Roger Kasha.
Damn, I want him to do well, but God, I want him to be able to enjoy life.
Just to tie a bow on this, I want the same for Matt.
Yeah.
I want Matt to be able to play hockey.
Mm-hmm.
But there is going to be a point where it's dude, you just need to live your life.
And I have a feeling that may happen after that large, gorgeous contract comes to an end. But you know what? I'm not gonna criticize him. He deserved the bag. I mean, he won
The
2 cups. He's done more than any of us could ever dream of doing in our lives. But I
the
think it's
the
over.
adductor. Oh shit. Oh shit.
Playing the parade.
Uh, Danny Boy, 2-1.
Yep. Connor Bedard. We're winning the cup.
Okay, moving on. So we talked about this in our text messages because it hadn't even happened over a week, and the Ian Cole saga is already kind of closed.
Yeah.
So basically, what happened was the NHL made an attempt, and for those of you watching, I'm putting an attempt in air quotes, to reach out to the woman who revealed herself. Essentially, like she went ahead and like used her own Twitter.
That was a burner.
Was that a burner? Because
It was a burner. Okay, I was doing
was that another burner? Okay, because I just saw like a real name, right?
Yeah. No, it's a burner.
If it was another burner, that's okay. That's cool. That's fine. But like, I texted you Robert Malloy's tweet. Like, was this the attempt, really? Because all they did was tweet back and be like, please DM us.
Yeah, I saw that, but I've heard from a lot of different people that they were doing a lot to try and reach out to her.
Were they actually like
Yeah.
trying to like find an email or some way to contact
Yes,
her? Okay.
I'm very critical of, as you know, of hockey, specifically the NHL and
Yes.
other organizations for how they handle things like this.
Canada, whenever we get to that.
I actually believe that they went through the process of trying to find her, and I think they took it seriously
Mhm.
because as dumb as this league is sometimes, I
Yes.
think they understand the optics of this scenario. And I think they're at least smart enough to understand that this is not something that they can take lightly, and this is something that they need to put genuine concern and time into.
Well, because it's an active player.
Yeah.
And that's another angle to this
Mm-hmm.
is the PA aspect of it and their statement.
That's what would piss me off. I'm not really upset with the NHL. I don't know what they can do. That was a very tough position for the NHL to be in because with the state of the game right now,
they interviewed Ian twice.
They interviewed
apparently
him twice. They went through phone records and stuff like that. Apparently, they were doing a whole review of that. They tried to reach out, and like as I've said before, it is your choice to remain anonymous in this scenario. I totally understand that, and I support you.
Right.
If you don't feel comfortable coming forward and revealing yourself, I get that. If you don't feel comfortable,
at least
going
report
over all the details with an organization like that, I get that too.
You don't have to report back yet. You don't have to report back ever if you're not ready to do that.
You got to do what's best for you, and you got to stay comfortable. You got to do what you can to stay as comfortable as possible. But the other side of that, though, is
because remember we said that it took
not to come forward. What is the NHL supposed to do with
because it took what? And I don't mean to keep comparing it to the Kyle Beach situation.
It took a decade.
It took over a decade.
Over a decade, yeah.
It took over a decade for the incident to come out.
Yes.
But then how many months into the investigation did it take for Kyle to actually come out and say this was me?
A while.
We were what? We were
oh, God, it was
5 months. I think we were at least 5 months into the break because the news broke in May, right?
We were covering it,
and we covered it in October. That full Fallout episode was October, November, wasn't it?
And then I can't remember when he did it, but
when he did his Westhead interview, yeah,
but it was a long timeline. I don't think I need to repeat it or to even say it. I think it should just be kind of common knowledge at this point. But it is important to believe people when they come forward with their stories. Mm-hmm. And it is important to respect people's privacy. The issue is, though, from the NHL standpoint, is, you know, legally, they cannot use their resources to find out through Twitter who this person is without a
Right.
subpoena. So they have to
Right, and they
use
didn't have one,
any
right? Yeah.
avenue possible to try and come into contact with her. She is not obligated to have these conversations with the league. However, when you don't have these conversations with the league, there's really nothing they can do legally.
Right.
It's a tough spot, you know.
The Lightning statement was your typical. It was like half typical and then half sincere, I guess.
It put the Lightning in a tough spot. It put the league in a tough spot. It put the Lightning in a tough spot.
Just to quick
Yeah.
end of 2-1, and we're leading
Okay.
in shots by 2.
Yeah. What pissed me off, I don't, like I said, I don't have any problem with what the NHL did, because I'm not sure what they're supposed to do in this scenario.
Yeah, but the
But
PA,
the Players Association, read the fucking room.
I get
Oh my God.
okay, I understand what the Players Association is and what its role is. Right?
Yeah.
Like, we both understand that the Players Association is a union for individual players' rights.
Yes. Oh my God. It just
This
filled me
is
with rage.
not. Do you remember like the gist of what the statement said?
The gist of it was like, basically, the players saying like it was ridiculous for Ian to be suspended without just cause, I guess. Like, I'm gonna reread it. I want to read it just to.
I was gonna say, yeah, can you just find it and read it? Because the whole idea of it was that they were, I don't know, it sounded like they were just against the suspension.
We are pleased that the situation with Ian Cole is now resolved and that the NHL has closed the matter. However, players should never be subject to suspension or discipline in response to unsubstantiated and anonymous accusations. Removing a player from his team under these circumstances is inappropriate and grossly unfair.
Wait. It actually says grossly unfair.
Grossly unfair.
Who runs the PA now? Is it still? Who's
Paul Kelly.
Okay, so somebody I don't know.
Executive director. He's a lawyer. He has been handling this. He's been on the executive board of players representing their individual teams. So on July 12th, 2006, they elected a six-member interim executive committee. And
I don't want to laugh at this because it's just such bullshit the way that they worded this thing. Oh.
Yeah.
It's not grossly unfair.
The issue that I have is that
go on.
They're acting as if this is a common issue.
And okay,
Jake, just in terms of active players,
I hate to be that guy for just a second. This isn't the NFL. This isn't Deshaun fucking Watson.
Yeah, Deshaun Watson getting 26 now cases.
I think it is up to it's up to like near 30, and it's like, oh,
Compared to one anonymous accusation against Ian Cole, right?
right. Which, don't get me wrong, this is still disgusting and like,
I still take it seriously.
yeah.
But here's my issue with this. My issue
Mhm.
is it feels to me like preparation.
I'm sorry. I'm trying to get out of it like
Preparation for,
something bigger.
well, right now you got Hockey Canada going on.
Right, because this,
You
yes.
have more and more people coming forward with their stories,
You have multiple
presenting.
World Juniors cases under the Hockey Canada thing.
You have, over the last 2 years, finally acknowledged, at least to an extent,
The culture has
how
an issue.
egregiously bad the culture is. It feels to me like this is the first time in a while that hockey,
That the league is actually
as a
saying, "Oh my
whole,
God, we're
not even the league, not even just the league, just
the
hockey
sport."
in general, feels threatened. And that statement makes does that not make you feel like this is preparation for the next time someone comes out with an accusation against a player,
Mhm.
maybe even a coach, someone in staff, I don't know, but at least for the Players Association, if they'd come out against a player,
Mhm.
they're using this as leverage to be able to shoot that down immediately and keep playing.
I want to mention this very, like as a footnote to this. Because again, the case is closed essentially.
That's what the league said. They said the case is closed, which I think is, I think it's unfair. I think that they should say temporarily closed.
Yes, yeah,
When you
something
say
like
it's
that.
closed, it gives me the impression that's it. That's over.
That
Whatever.
you're just gonna sweep it under the rug and be
We're
done.
we're moving on.
Right.
I want to know if more information comes out.
Hmm.
Say a second accusation comes forward against Ian Cole. A
Right.
third. I want to know that this league is going to look into those as well
Speaking of
and take
seconds,
those into consideration.
speaking of seconds and thirds, the Hockey Canada funds. Never mind that now.
Yeah,
But
like, you know what I mean?
again, we're gonna have a whole discussion on Hockey Canada when
Or
we can dedicate an episode to it. But
if this person, this Emily Smith,
Mhm.
says, I'm going to come forward.
Yes,
I
reopen it.
I am willing to share my identity,
Mhm.
share my story, and present the most amount of information I can give you.
Yes.
I want to know
Excuse me.
if this league is going to reopen it
And take
Take
it
it serious.
seriously. Yes.
Yes.
So, quick footnotes before we move on. A little bit similar was the Steve Simmons thing, and I hate giving Steve Simmons the light of day, but the garbage that he said about players like Wayne and Akeem Aliu. I mean, like, did you see Wayne and Aliu's tweets that just ripped him a new one?
Yeah.
Because I loved those. Especially Wayne's, because he was like, "This is me being nice."
Yes.
I was like, well, okay, good. But again, like, Steve Simmons is just too.
He's such a troll.
It's hard giving this guy the
bad,
light
yes.
of day.
You know what it
That's why it's a footnote. I didn't want to give this guy the light of day, but I did want to bring it up.
did you know the vibes that gave me?
What?
Steve Simmons talking about that shit. It gave me the vibes of that Dean Browning dude when he went on Twitter and forgot to change to his burner account, and he
Oh,
tweeted on
no.
his public account and he said, "I'm a black gay guy and I can say personally that Obama did nothing for me."
Oh,
Everyone
God.
killed him for it. I don't know why, but
Oh,
it was like
no.
the same vibes.
Oh no.
It was like, you know what? Yeah, nobody could talk about what it's like to be a person of color in hockey better than Steve Simmons.
Steve Simmons, right, exactly. But let me pull this up too, because this is something that is another footnote that's related.
Mm-hmm.
We talk about hockey is for everyone as PR bullshit.
Yes. 'Cause it
And this is something we can dive into the next episode we have, which let's talk about this right now. I want to say we need to try to do this Friday. We need to try to do one Friday because I've got plans on Saturday and I can't do it.
Yeah, I'm not gonna be able to do a show on Saturday, so I'll let you know what time I can do Friday.
Cool. Perfect. I'm glad that works out because they actually gave me a Friday off for once. Okay. Anyway, so what this says here, the league office and all 32 clubs have united to strengthen diversity and inclusion. So they're going through, they're basically doing like their own diversity report.
Ooh.
Which again, we'll talk about.
Check those boxes.
We'll talk about it more Friday, but like, why not just work with the HDA?
Now, this is in reference to hiring, right?
Why not just work with the Diversity Alliance? Like, why not just work with them to come up with ideas instead of trying to file your own report? Is what I'm saying.
Right. So like, but this is in response to like hiring in your team, or is it just about like
every point where a player, fan, or employee interacts with the game?
Okay. All right.
So basically,
it's more than just jobs.
It's for everybody. It's like it's literally trying to say hockey is for everyone.
Make like coming up with reports of this is how we're doing it, right?
In a PR sense, right? And like in an actual legal sense. Again, why not just work with the HDA?
You know,
because you have players in that.
Yeah. I don't even know. I've never seen a sport struggle so hard that they have to put in so many initiatives to be like, okay, guys, please, just try to be somewhat inclusive.
Right. It's ridiculous. It's crazy.
Like,
anyway,
Lord, they're struggling. They're just like.
I can actually look at the website over the next couple of days and figure, out like a segment for that. But anyway, we got to move on. A couple more quick things. Sonny finally got a contract. Yay.
Mm-hmm.
He signed leagueman for 1 year with Washington.
Yep. He cleared waivers, so
he's going to Hershey.
No, I think just because he signed the contract, he has to pass through waivers before he can.
Oh, like a Harry Sateri kind of thing. Okay.
Yes. So, I imagine he's going to be joining them soon.
Well, with Connor Brown out,
yeah,
gives him a shot.
Yeah, because the Caps needed more skill.
I mean,
I gotta say no to it, but that's what they lack.
I'm not gonna say that they don't, but because I mean, you have
Bring him in. Hey, Sonny, you play defense, right?
you have Strome for Hart up there.
Yep.
You have the ever age-defying Alex Ovechkin, who is tied with Sid in career points going into tonight, which is wild.
Yeah.
They're both sitting at 14-15. Why? These two are so tight at the hip.
Yeah. They do everything.
They did that. Literally, I wouldn't be surprised if like they're actually buddies off the ice and they like go to dinner and shit.
I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, I think they like each other. Like,
I would think they at least like respect each other for what they do.
Massive respect. They like each other. Like, the rivalry isn't as much. It's not personal.
No, because they like greats. Greats respect greats, right?
Yeah, I imagine whenever they see each other at an event or anything like that, like
Oh, like an all-star or whatever
an
they're
all-star,
yeah, at the awards and stuff.
award ceremony. When they meet in the playoffs. No, I'm kidding. For like the 90th time. Imagine it's fun.
Oh, it's gotta be. Like I do want to see pictures of the two of them just hanging out though. That'd be kind of fun.
Yeah.
But like Sonny, where does he play? I would assume he's gonna slot in until Connor gets back.
Somewhere in the middle 6.
And Connor Brown's not gonna be out for too long, I don't think. Right? As far as I'm aware.
I haven't seen any updates on that, so I have no idea.
As far as I'm aware,
if I gave you an estimate, it would be a total guess. I'd be pulling it out of my ass. I could say right now he's gonna be out like 2 to 3 weeks. He might be out for 6 months. I don't fucking know.
He might be out for a couple of days. I don't know. I'd have to ask Caps.
I don't know. All I know is it's either an upper body injury or a lower body injury.
Right, because that's how the injury reports work. Anyway, so Sonny's probably going to play where Connor plays.
Mm-hmm.
Just slot in until he gets back, and then he might get pushed down, I would say, right?
Probably, yeah.
So then you would have like, if they keep him around long enough with the big guys, Tom, Connor Brown, Sonny Milano as your top 3 right wings.
He probably plays on the left, don't?
They could play Sonny on the left.
Yeah.
Sonny with Connor would be fun.
Yeah.
Sonny with Connor and Kuzi. Ooh, that'd be pretty fun. Or Strom, yeah. That would be pretty fun, I'm not gonna lie. And then I do want to ask you, just to like wrap this. This is a really short episode.
Mm-hmm.
We went a lot quicker with this than what I thought.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, it is late. We're shooting a little bit later than normal.
Indeed.
Nice ASMR. I don't think we're gonna get people long enough into this episode in order for them to enjoy that ASMR. So don't do it again.
Then cut a segment. It's like a 30-second clip on YouTube. People are like, what the fuck is this?
Clip of 30 seconds.
Talking into the microphone.
Well, I was gonna do that with Twitter. And Twitter for desktop screwed up for me.
Twitter for Internet Explorer.
God. So my question, we pop culture cast and what have you. Is there any new music that you've gotten into? Like, is The Weeknd doing anything fun coming up? Or
he hasn't done anything. He dropped the album back in January, and people.
And I mean, we talked about Dawn FM for like ever.
Yeah, and people have been theorizing what the next album is going to be and how
what Afterlife is going to entail.
Yes, yeah, it's exactly what people are wondering. It's probably going to be more upbeat album because you get just like the saddest fucking album ever. And then you get Dawn FM, which is also pretty sad, but at least there's like upbeat moments. It's up and down. It's supposed to be the purgatory stage. Right. Then you get Afterlife. So like nothing on that end. I've been recently getting back into Fall Out Boy more and more.
And I'm glad you mentioned Fall Out Boy, because there's a couple.
Enjoy them.
Because there's similar guys that I want to talk about a lot. Because I've honestly, for me, starting from like, at least Friday.
Mm-hmm.
I want to say, gosh, end of September was when this started for me. There was a lot of new music from bands that I adore. That came out that I just can't stop. Because there was the new Bush album that came out. Ooh. The Art of Survival.
Wow.
And it's awesome. It's so killer.
Which one of the songs off of that album is going to replace Machine Head for the opening puck drop?
It wouldn't surprise me if More Than Machines did that. That was the first single off of that.
Yeah.
And I don't know, but nothing can replace Machine Head. Come on.
It's been the opening. It's for as long as I can remember.
It's
I
better than
can't remember a time where it wasn't the opening song.
it's better than the rest, dude. Green to Red, Machine Head. So like, but yeah, the Art of Survival is fantastic. 1,000 Years is my favorite. It's like Gavin's love song. I mean, because he always loves putting at least one of those in there, right?
Yeah.
At least a lot of his lyrics are love based. Like "Kiss Me, I'm Dead" is a good one. More Than Machines, like I said, is awesome. It's freaking great. And then Heavy as the Ocean is also another really fun one. So there was the Art of Survival that came out, and it was fantastic. The second Red Hot Chili Peppers album of 2022 came out on Friday.
Jesus. Man, they dropping left and right.
Because they released Unlimited Love back in April. And I adored that shit.
They were quick. I mean, damn.
For dudes that like, dude, Flea just turned 60 the other day.
Yeah, it was 60. What was it? 6 months later. I mean, that you're trying another album.
But probably, honestly, like now that
back in April, right? So
yeah, dude, now that Frusciante's back, like they could crank it out. Wouldn't surprise me. But the one that came out Friday is so funky. I have like 5 songs left. I haven't finished it. But it's like super psychedelic funky. I love it. It's called Return of the Dream Canteen. I don't know if you listened to like Tip of My Tongue yet. Tip of My Tongue was the first single that they put out for that one.
Yeah, I haven't listened to that album at all.
Tip of My Tongue is great. Show Me a Smile is great. And then my other like favorite one, and you could probably guess this just based off of the title and just what you know about me, Jay. The Drummer. Yeah. The Drummer is so much fun.
You're not kidding. Flea turned 60 like 2 days ago.
I know.
Damn.
I know.
That's crazy.
And the dude can still just jam.
I'm not gonna lie, I thought he was older.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Yeah, he's
I mean, he does look a lot older. I'm not gonna lie. Like the hard stuff he was doing when he was younger really didn't help him much.
I'd say so.
I feel like what's funny is like I feel like John looks the most healthy out of all of them, and he's the one that had the most issues.
Yeah, I don't mean to interrupt, but
go on.
Sens are up 3-0. They blow it. It's 3-3. Sens go up 6-3. Now it's 6-5.
Roller coaster in Ottawa.
Good lord.
How's Brinksy doing? Because I heard Claude got the first goal.
Brinksy got an assist on it. Kachuk had the second. Batherson the third. Pinto, Stutzla, Kostelic. So
wow, so they got
Kachuk and Stutzla have a goal and 2 assists each for 3 points, and Batherson's got a goal and assist.
So they got goals from everybody tonight already. Damn. Good for Kostelic though.
That's 783 in this game, and Swayman is rocking that 760.
I'm gonna say though, good for Kostelic because DJ said he was gonna match him up alongside Berge a lot tonight.
Okay. Yeah.
So like, ooh, good for casting. But okay, the biggest thing that I wanted to get to with the music.
Yeah.
Right. And I've been giggling about this all day long. Blink 182, baby.
Yeah, baby, they're back.
Tommy's back. I fucking love it. It's like, I love the way that they announced it just on Twitter. Like, hey, new song. Tom's here. Tour's coming. Get ready. It was just like the most bland, like, are they fucking serious?
Right.
And it was like, whoa. And then we saw the pictures of all of them together, and there was the teaser for the song. Yeah. And I'm not gonna lie, specifically All Day Today. Edging, if you guys haven't listened to Edging yet, please do it. It's been the biggest earworm for me. Like,
Right.
I cannot get this song out of my head. It's so good.
Yeah, I'll have to take a look at it and listen to it. I haven't taken any listens to it yet.
Watch the video.
Okay.
Because just getting to see Travis and Mark and Tom just all together again is mind-blowing.
Yeah. I mean, it's been. I mean, when was the last time they came out with something, right?
The last time they came out with something with Tom, at least, was, God, I don't even know. I want to say like mid-2000s.
Yeah. So, pretty fucking big comeback, right? Like,
Yeah. Because wasn't even like
all because of the abs.
Oh yeah, all the small things really did him. Well, that was because wasn't Mark there? Mark was there for the banner raising, I think.
Oh, that's pretty fucking cool.
Mark was there, and get this: the NHL put this on their story. Mark Hoppus shaking hands with Wayne Gretzky.
Damn.
That doesn't get much cooler than that.
Game.
Oh yeah. I love Mark Hoppus. He was a part of the Chester tribute show back in 2017. And you guys know how much Chester Bennington's my guy.
Yeah.
And it's just like, I don't know. Edging is such a great song. It's fun. It's like bouncy. It's got this really like upbeat, like, yeah, we're back kind of vibe to it. Tom's voice has really changed.
Yeah.
His voice is like a lot weirdly deeper.
Really?
Than it used to be. Yeah. Because it's like you listen to the early.
Age
well, I mean, it is age, but it's like you listen to all the small things, or What's My Age Again, right? And then you listen to like The Adventure from Angels and Airwaves, and it's a little bit different,
right?
But then you listen to Edging, and it's like, whoa, Tom grew up. And then Mark sounds exactly the same.
I'm intrigued. Now I have to investigate.
You will love it. And like Travis is back there on the drum kit just wailing away and just having a blast. Like, you would love this video, and I highly, highly recommend go watch the Edging music video from Blink-182. It's so much fun. The other thing I just want to mention really quick though is they're doing this gigantic 2023 world tour, right? Months and months and months. These ticket prices.
Yeah.
Even Mark is like, this feels unfair.
Like how expensive they are?
Yes.
Are they doing arena or are they doing stadium?
They're doing, I think, a little bit of everything. Because again, it's just like months and months and going everywhere. Right?
Fun though. You get some of those cool venues,
Some of the
hit up that Rocky place in Colorado.
Jay, the smallest pricing that I've seen for a seat, $600.
God, Jesus.
And they go upwards of at least 1,500.
Wow.
I told you Mark was like,
I get
yeah.
it. I get it. Like,
I mean,
I'm not
sure.
gonna criticize. I get it, but like, damn, that's awesome.
Like I said, even Mark was like, yeah, I feel like we're gouging you guys a little bit. I'm sorry.
What a comeback, huh? Comeback of the year.
Comeback of the, and it's like perfect timing too, because like everybody's in a shitty mood.
They get comeback player of the year for some sports. How about comeback band of the year?
Comeback band of the year, Blink-182.
Give an award. Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Give an award. Do it.
Oh, for comeback band, and just give it to Blink. Yes, give it to Blink this year.
Yeah, do it.
God, you just mentioning the Rock Hall makes me sad about Dave and Taylor, because they did the tribute shows and they rocked it, and Shane was fucking, I wanted to cry.
Yeah.
When I saw Shane on the drums at friggin' Wembley. And then I'm good on Dave, because he's going to take a full year to just do nothing and do his own thing.
I just can't imagine, like, it's happened twice, your close friend
when you were the drummer and then you lose your drummer.
Yeah, just so hard.
And you lose a best friend each time. Yeah, and like Taylor being only 50.
Yeah.
Kurt
Both
being in
way
the
too soon.
both way too soon.
Because how old was Kurt?
Kurt was in the 27 club, dude.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Like, dude, Lane Staley was older.
Wow.
Lane Staley was like 34.
Oh god, that's just brutal, man. It really is.
Yeah.
Like 50's too young.
Oh my god. We have a tie game.
Oh baby.
We have a tie game, Big Z, baby.
Let's go.
Big Z from the captain and Johnny Jacket.
Oh, let's go.
That's a fun way to end this. Go listen to Edging, and we'll be back Friday.
Forget about Connor Bedard. We're winning the cup.
Go check out Edging, everybody. We'll see you soon.
Just kidding. He's winning great on a line with Johnny Bedard.
Jake Jackets, a podcast for fifth liners and all puckheads around. Follow the guys on Twitter at Snake Gehringer, GARRINGER, and at by J Ashdown. And subscribe on YouTube or wherever you listen. March on.